Operation Northwoods, when the US planned to attack itself. Imagine your own government plotting to kill civilians, just to start a war. This isn't fiction. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a declassified document, signed by the US Joint Chiefs of Staff. A plan to manufacture terror, stage funerals, and blame it all on Cuba. It was called Operation Northwoods, and the most disturbing part, it almost happened. The blueprint for deception. 1962. America is deep in Cold War paranoia. The Bay of Pigs invasion has just failed. Fidel Castro remains in power. The US military is desperate to change that. In secret, the Joint Chiefs of Staff draft Operation Northwoods, a covert plan to justify military action against Cuba. Their method? Simulate attacks, or cause real ones. Details from the document include faking the hijacking of commercial airliners, bombing US military bases, holding fake funerals for imaginary victims, planting wreckage and arresting fake Cuban agents. Casualty lists in US newspapers would cause a helpful wave of national indignation. This wasn't a fringe idea. It was formal. It was structured. It was signed. And it was awaiting approval. The target was Cuba. The weapon was fear. The Bay of Pigs had been a public embarrassment. America couldn't afford another failure in Cuba. But the people weren't eager for war. So the government considered manufacturing consent, not through diplomacy, but through blood. The idea? Create emotional outrage, make Americans grieve, then redirect their pain toward Havana. This was terrorism as marketing, fear as foreign policy. They weren't trying to trick the enemy, they were trying to trick you. When the plot was exposed, President John F. Kennedy read the proposal. And to his credit, he shut it down. Operation Northwoods was denied, buried, classified. For decades it remained hidden, until the 1990s, when FOIA requests and the Assassination Records Review Board forced its declassification. The reaction? Shock, outrage. For some, grim validation. They would have killed Americans and blamed Cuba. Yes, that was the plan. And it was signed by military leadership. Why it matters today. Operation Northwoods wasn't just a plan. It was a revelation. It showed that false flag operations were not unthinkable. They were thinkable enough to write down. It showed how far powerful institutions would go to shape public perception. It taught future skeptics where to look. So when people question official stories, whether about 9/11, WMDs, or covert operations, they're not always paranoid. Sometimes they're informed by history. The legacy of a plan never executed. Though never carried out, Northwoods left a scar, a crack in public trust. Some historians speculate that JFK's refusal to play along deepened military resentment, possibly fueling later tensions that ended with his assassination. But the deeper takeaway? Not all threats to freedom wear enemy flags. Sometimes they wear stars and stripes. Sometimes they salute. And sometimes they draft a plan to sacrifice the innocent to trigger war. The scariest plot twist in history isn't what happened. It's what almost did. And if the most trusted institutions could imagine this, what else have they been willing to do? Subscribe to Past Redacted. Because if this shattered your sense of safety, brace yourself. Next time we go inside the mind. Project MKUltra, when the CIA tried to hack the human mind.